Welcome in. Take just a quick second and ask yourself the question we're starting with today. How exactly did you find your way here? Well, maybe you had a chance conversation with Gregory 1, or, perhaps someone handed you a physical business card, or you just happened to click a link on a social media post. Maybe you even purchased a product that really caught your eye. However it happened, I just want to acknowledge right up front that you are here for a reason. For the duration of this explainer, I want you to think of me as your personal mentor. My entire goal today is to help unpack the message you encountered, guide you through what it actually means, and really help you find your footing in this brand new space.
So what you've actually stumbled into is called the OneGodian Remember campaign. I've put together this explainer to serve as your personal guided tour through the entire OneGodian ecosystem. Because let's be honest, stepping into a new community, especially one with a really profound, deep mission, can sometimes feel kind of overwhelming, right? It's literally like arriving in a massive new city without a map. Well, if you're a new arrival trying to figure out what this community is all about, consider this your map. We're going to break down the core philosophy, the specific tools that are available to you, and exactly how you fit into the much bigger picture.
I want you to really think about this phrase. You are not lost. You are remembering. That right there is the absolute core reassurance of this entire campaign. So often, when we're out there seeking personal growth or self-improvement or some kind of spiritual unity, the modern world basically tells us that we're broken. We feel this immense, heavy pressure to invent an entirely new identity from scratch, right? Like we have to become someone completely else. But the OneGodian framework beautifully flips that script. It tells you that you don't need to build yourself from the ground up. Instead, you are simply awakening to the dignity, the origins, and the divine purpose that are already inside you. They're just waiting to be uncovered. So it's not about exhausting yourself trying to discover something new, it's about the profound relief of reclaiming what is already yours. To help us really grasp all of this, we're going to walk through 4 distinct stages together. First, we'll look at the call to remember. Second, the pillars of true identity. Third, the educational ecosystem. And finally, building our shared future.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the call to remember and reconnecting with the message.
Everything truly begins when you remember the encounter. The campaign specifically asks folks to look back at that very first initial spark. Again, whether that was a direct conversation, a website link you followed, or just a random video that stopped you mid-scroll. I really want you to reflect on that. What did that specific message mean to you at that exact moment? Did it offer, a sudden flash of clarity on a really confusing day? Did it finally put into words this feeling of spiritual homesickness you've been carrying around for years? Recognizing how you got here and the emotions tied to that exact moment is absolutely step 1 in understanding a disciplined way of viewing yourself and the broader community around you.
Moving right along to section 2, Pillars of True Identity, where we talk about reclaiming who you really are.
The entire OneGodian mission is built on 5 very specific core pillars. First up is self-identity and origin. This is about truly knowing who you are and where you come from before the outside world told you otherwise. Second is the truth of one God, which acts as the ultimate grounding, unifying recognition of the entire movement. Third is divine purpose, and that really answers that deep internal ache of why am I here? Fourth is family and dignity, which strictly dictates how we have to treat ourselves and each other. And finally, unity and community. The source material makes it abundantly clear that remembering these specific elements isn't just some abstract intellectual mental exercise. No, it is a daily, lived practice that builds up your personal dignity and fosters a really profound spiritual unity among the entire human family. Now, putting all of this into practice requires a step-by-step internal process. The campaign uses these beautifully simple, deeply resonant phrases to guide your focus. Step 1, remember who you are. Step 2, remember where you come from. Step 3, remember your purpose. As a newcomer, repeating these phrases acts as an anchor for you. Think of it kind of like a daily meditation that just pulls you right back to center whenever the noise of the outside world gets way too loud. It's an open invitation to step completely out of confusion and step right into a disciplined, deliberate understanding of your own life.
Let's look at section 3, the educational ecosystem. These are your tools for disciplined growth.
Real support for this journey comes through structure, and that is primarily housed within the University of OneGodian. Take OneGodiology, for instance. Now, this isn't just community jargon. It is a highly specialized, dedicated area of study within the framework. It provides what the campaign calls disciplined growth. See, the ecosystem doesn't just hand you a couple of inspiring quotes and send you packing. It provides a real curriculum for life. It's a dedicated, structured educational pathway designed to help you profoundly understand yourself and exactly what your place is within the community.
And right alongside that structured study, we have something called OneGodianese. This refers to resources and principles that relate to the specific language of the mission. And you might be wondering, why does a dedicated language matter so much? Well, think of it like a shorthand. Just like scientists or musicians have a really specific language to communicate complex ideas with absolute precision, having a shared disciplined language here is an incredible educational tool. It helps members articulate their reclaimed identity clearly, and it allows them to share it effectively without losing the true essence of the message. It creates this amazing bond and gets everyone literally and figuratively on the exact same page.
All of these different elements come together to build a complete, immersive educational ecosystem. It's a true map for your personal evolution. If you're focusing on language and principles, you have OneGodian. When it comes to time and standards, there's OTS v5. That's a proprietary system designed to align the global community's schedules and mindsets to one unified standard. For those specialized studies, you dive right into OneGodianology. And all of this digital learning is centrally housed at the university's subdomain, u.onegodian.com. That is your digital campus. It is exactly where a newcomer should head to find the books, the study guides, and the digital frameworks you need to grow.
But there is a really crucial concept I want to highlight here. Disciplined growth preserves public memory. Utilizing these educational materials isn't just about your own quiet personal enlightenment in a vacuum. According to the campaign, it is a much broader cultural initiative. History shows us over and over that if we don't actively remember who we are, society inevitably forgets. So when you learn, when you achieve this disciplined growth, your personal journey literally becomes a brick in the wall of collective memory. You are actively helping to preserve a vital truth for the entire human family. How incredible is that?
And that brings us to our final section, number 4, building our shared future and finding your exact place and purpose in all of this.
There is a very direct link between your voluntary action and the community's shared infrastructure. The Remember campaign makes it crystal clear that every single personal contribution is not just a mere consumer transaction, not at all. It is a vital, voluntary action that shifts you away from being a passive observer and turns you into an active builder. It directly builds up the shared infrastructure. We're talking the educational pages, the media channels, the community tools, all the things that benefit and sustain the whole ecosystem.
To make that super practical, let's look at exactly how your everyday actions translate into massive community impact. If your action is to subscribe to their YouTube or All IT Media channels, the impact is immediately expanded public visibility. It allows the algorithm to reach people who really need to hear this message. If you buy Remember branded products, books, or apparel, that directly funds server infrastructure and new product development. If you contribute directly, well, that keeps the educational and media pages running. And honestly, simply choosing to share the message with someone else directly moves the entire mission forward. Every single step is an open invitation for you to help this mission survive and thrive.
So, just to summarize exactly what that voluntary support is actually funding, we are talking about real, tangible community-building assets here. It funds the public outreach required to reach others who might feel totally lost right now. It funds the media hosting and the digital real estate, it builds community-facing tools, and it generates the very educational materials we were just talking about. It really is an entirely self-sustaining loop of enlightenment and growth, completely fueled by people who, just like you, took a moment to remember.
Which leaves us with this incredibly empowering final thought from the campaign. The future begins when the people remember. You've taken the tour with me today. You've seen the 5 pillars, the university tools waiting for you, and how your voluntary support actually builds this shared ecosystem for everybody. So as you step fully into this community, the only real question left is this. Now that you've reclaimed your identity and your true purpose, what exactly are you going to build with it?